Hey, welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video. I'm Wood. In this series, we're comparing two accounts that I started at the same time on the same day, and I'm playing the same way with one major difference. One account is free to play, the other has a monthly spending budget. It's day 35. Let's check our progress. Hey, thanks again for joining me. We're on day 35 collecting some jewelry on the free-to-play. On the free-to-play, we'll have a greenish-blue border around the screen, and then on the budget account, there won't be any border at all. Just so that it's clear when I'm talking about a certain account, if you're curious about which account I'm actually on or which run you're watching or whatever I'm doing, you'll know if it's the free-to-play or not. Collecting our stuff. I should go in and look and see. What did we get? Is it better than what we've already gotten from Spider? Oh, that one actually could be good. Okay, so 5-star with attack percentage substat. That's good. All right. Let's see what it rolls. Let's just quickly just jump in and do it. We got artifact enhancement event going on right now, although I don't... Oh, well, it went double defense. That's not ideal. I used a lot of silver earlier today. I leveled up a lot of artifact, or some. It wasn't actually a lot. It was just a few artifacts. I was able to get 100% crit rate on my Stag Knight. He's 189 speed compared to Athel, who is at 180 speed. So he's basically speed tuned with her. Our speed booster is quite a bit faster. It's probably not, I mean, it's not speed tuned. She's 231. We'd have to speed our debuffer and Athel up just a little bit to be able to be really speed tuned. Before I forget to say something about it, I woke up early for Clan versus Clan and just got some things done. That included pulling the soul stones that we had available to us. And so I will go ahead and insert a clip of what happened on the free-to-play and the budget account in case you're curious. On the free-to-play account, we're going to open 11 mortal soul stones and 2 immortal soul stones. All right, should we do a 10 pull after doing one? Let's see what we got, and it's an epic. Okay, Korgon the Crowned. Okay, 1 star, but Korgon is an okay lizard man that gets used a lot. All right, let's do the 10. An Elder, Gore Mask. Ooh, a 3-star Grinner, and we do have Grinner. That's great. 3-star Ifrit, Vagabond, Wyverbane, Rockbreaker. He's actually useful. Gore Mask is farmable, so we got a 2-star and a 1-star for him. That's weird. Metal Shaper, that one I might actually keep. Metal Shaper has a shield that can be put on indefinitely if he's fast enough. So yeah, but the Grinner for the free to play, that's awesome because we have a Grinner, and so we can put a 3-star on him. Very good. We also have 3,000 coins. Let's go ahead and convert those and summon those 3. Got a Fleshmonger. We'll hold on to that one also. Fleshmonger is one of the only skinwalkers that does AoE decreased defense. It's not 100%, but it's hard to find decreased defense in the skinwalkers, so we'll hold on to that one. Oh, there's Athel. I think we already had the 1-star for her. I'll look back again and see, but I think we already did. This one's going to be a dwarf. Runekeeper Dazdirk. We'll hold on to that one too. He can be useful. All right, let's open the 2 immortals. Ooh, a 6-star. That's 10,000 points for Clan versus Clan. That is great. A 6-star Alaric the Hooded. Oh man. Wow. Actually, you know, if we did ever pull him, I mean, it's very unlikely, but if we did ever pull him, that would be really nice. You could put him in Crushing Rend, and yeah, that would be great. Okay, 2nd Immortal. Wow, I'm glad we waited for Clan versus Clan. That was 10,000 points. Ooh, and a 5-star Seducer. Seducer is a void rare that you pull often, so we'll hold on to that too. He has a block debuffs buff that can be useful as well. Very good. Okay, let's go over to the budget account. Let's see what we have here. We have 12 mortals. Let's go ahead and convert the 3,000 coins. So we have 15 now. We only have one because yesterday when the event started, when the anniversary path event started, and then when they started this increased chance for rank, they went up to 3% for 5-star and 1.5% for 6-star. And then on Immortals, it's 24% for 5-star and 12% for 6-star. And so when they started this event, I just, out of reflex, I just pulled one. And so we got a 3-star Sanctum Protector. so nothing special, but we'll see what we get here from these 15. Let's do the 5 first. From the Mortals. Oh, it's a legendary. Yeah, Molly. Very good. Okay, so 1-star Molly. Awesome. If we ever get Molly, that'll be great. Molly's very good for Hydra. Used to see her a lot more in Arena. Don't see her in Arena as much as we used to. The Tree Feller. An Ogryn Jailer. Ogryn Jailer hits quite hard. He can be kind of useful as rare. He also has a buff steal too. So I can't remember if it's a steal or strip, but anyway, he has something like that. 2-star Elhain. We'll probably hold on to her. She can be useful to have just as a rare in the high elves. So. Oh, and a 3-star Metal Shaper. So that's funny. We pulled a Metal Shaper on both the budget and the free to play. Just 3-star on this one, 1-star on the other. All right, let's do our 10 pull. The Mortals. Let's have something useful. Torture Helm. He's in the Rosin fusion. Ooh, a 2-star Taras. 2 legendaries. Whirling Frost King and Taras. 3 legendaries. Deliana. Oh, we got a 2-star for the Taragi. That's great. Good. That's big. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, this is weird. And then we got the 2-star for the Terex also. That's very good too. Excellent. Yeah, that'll be very helpful. Yeah, Torture Helm is part of the Rosin fusion. So if we pull one, then we could also fuse one. And then Taras, I mean, it'd be great to get him at some point. Deliana is very good also. I use her quite a bit. And then Whirling Frost King I've never used before, but I hate facing him in Doom Tower. So, all right. So let's pull our one remaining Immortal Soulstone. See what we got. It's an epic. Ooh, a 5-star Necro Hunter. I've heard that he hits hard. I've never built one. I've pulled him several times, but never built him. So if we ever pull a Necro Hunter, we'll hold on to that one as well. Very good. Wow, look at that. Filling it all up. Let's awaken our Taragi. We already had a 1-star for him, but let's put the 2-star on him. Give him some more HP. Very good. That's helpful. Yeah, the wish list came through. That's nice. And then we'll definitely get our Terex. One of our Terexes awakened. Yeah, very cool. I'm gonna leave the coins for essence. The coins are good for essence, so we're just gonna leave the coins there on for the immortal coins. We're gonna leave those for essence. Just I don't like converting those because you never know what you're gonna get, and I don't think it's very reliable. All right, so that's a lot of clan versus clan points. Let's look at and see how we're doing on clan versus clan now. Yeah, we're top 2 positions for clan versus clan. Although, yeah, there's only 4 others in our clan that have scored any points so far. We're very early in clan versus clan, very early in the morning. Okay, that's gonna do it for the Soulstone summons. Thanks. Okay, so hopefully that was fun. some interesting stuff happened on both accounts. You can see what I've got left here on the free-to-play. The Alaric, the 6-star Alaric, the Hooded, is actually good if we ever get him. But pulling a couple of legendaries also on the budget account, you know, a Taras would be great if we could ever pull a Taras. But yeah, probably not going to happen. We'll go in and see what our daily challenges have in store for us today. Chestplate up to level 8, that shouldn't be a problem. Classic arena battles using 1 spirit champion. We have a Stag Knight, that's not a problem. Upgrade the levels of magic champions in campaign battles 10 times. So those are ones, it's funny, those are ones you sometimes miss because you can get going along and training and you may not even, you know, put one in that is the affinity that it wants, and so it's always good to check those before you start your day just to see what's going to be expected of you to be able to get those, because the rewards are worth it, especially for that instinct set. So we'll go in and run some campaign. Yeah, and see on this one, we won't be able to get that many levels into this magic, so I'm just gonna get the magic ones out of the way right away. We've got Ethel hitting a little bit harder. She's not hitting as hard as I would like yet, but she's hitting a little bit harder. We're almost ready to move into Minotaur 15. I think, yeah, it'll probably be a week or so we'll be able to get into Minotaur 15, and then that'll be more efficient with collecting our scrolls for our masteries. We got some more masteries put on both Stag Knight and Adeline. You can see here we've got some masteries on Stag Knight. I went with Bring It Down. I kind of had a decision to make here on this tier 4 one. I'll show you what my issue was. So you can see here we had available to us Evil Eye, and Evil Eye is a good one to put on Stag Knight. It reduces turn meter on their A1 hit, so whatever their default skill is, that it reduces turn meter on the enemy if their turn meter can be reduced. And the problem with that is we're using Stag Knight right now still in Bommel. If I have any hope of getting past the higher stages of Bommel in normal in normal Doom Tower, you can't use Evil Eye with your champions, and so because he's strong affinity, he's not one that I'm willing to take out just so that I can have Evil Eye on him. Eventually, we're going to be able to build a Bommel team that doesn't have Stag Knight in it. He's probably not ideal for a Bommel team anyway, but for right now, this is what we have, and so I just, in order not to lose out on some of those Bommel runs, I just went ahead and I went with this mastery, the Opportunist one. And Opportunist just it increases damage to targets with the CC debuffs on them. It's not a lot because the freeze reduces your damage anyway, and so it just kind of and so does petrification. It's just to mitigate some of that damage reduction that gets done by some of those debuffs. And we're not really looking at Stag Knight as our damage dealer, but I had the scrolls, so I needed to put something in there just so I wouldn't have a red dot eternally. So anyway, so that's kind of what the decision was there. And then you can see our Frolny here. We just went with defense tree because he doesn't need any accuracy, and he does put up a shield, so I could have gone support tree with Frolny if I was thinking about depending on his second form. But I decided that I want to use him as a nuker for arena for right now, and so I decided not to go with support tree to increase the shield that he puts on. I know the AI is set up somehow, to trigger that change because it's doing it. I don't know what the answer is. So if anybody knows what's causing him, because he'll change into his second form, but I haven't seen him change back. And then similarly in Hydra, my Lady Mikage, sometimes she'll change into her spider form, the second form for her, when I want her to stay in her initial, her base form. So I don't know what is triggering them to. I don't know what's triggering the AIs, but when I put them on auto, sometimes they'll just stay in their base form through the whole fight. Sometimes they change, and I still don't know why. So, like I said, if anybody knows, please put it in the comment, because I would like to be educated about that. And through my own observation, I haven't really figured it out. But yeah, he's got this big shield on his second form. I don't know. I thought the defense would benefit his second form from the masteries, and I also thought I'm going to be using him mostly in his base form for right now as a nuker, but I guess that could change in the future if I'm using him more for support and defense. Maybe I would go with these shield masteries and lasting gifts and things like that. So I think it's a debate worth having, about which mastery tree to go down on Frolny. Obviously, you wouldn't go through over here and do the accuracy masteries because he doesn't need it. There's nothing on his kit that needs accuracy, but the defense, I think benefits both. And so anyway, that's what I decided to do. And then I've got a few more on Adeline also. I do have her over here on support because she does healing and everything, and so I want those heals to be as big as possible when the team's in trouble. So that's the progress so far over there. So I've got 4 Terexes on my free-to-play, and I've got 3 on this budget account. So it was lucky to get a 2-star blessing on the Terex that we are actually using, so that's nice. He's got a cool AoE provoke, so I'm going to keep him. I'm going to use him. I mean, I'm going to use all 3 copies, actually. It might be helpful, especially in Lizardmen faction wars, is if you can go through and provoke some of the waves just to keep your team alive. So they're forced to only use their A1s. I thought that would be nice. And that's pretty much, we've just been running everything that you normally run during Clan versus Clan, and I've just been farming Minotaur to get scrolls. Not real exciting, but exciting changes are happening. And you see I went down the support tree with Fenshi here and went with the Grim Resolve. I kind of like Grim Resolve. I know people don't use it very often, but I kind of like that one. It increases damage inflicted by 5% when attacking with 50% HP or less. And so I just figure if you're in danger of dying and you're getting in your last few hits, I figure you want more damage when you're running out of health, and then you have Life Drinker on to heal up. So it's based on 5% of damage inflicted, and so I just figure those two masteries work kind of with each other. I know it's not that significant of a heal, but I figure every little bit helps. And Bring It Down is a really important one, for always, because most of the time we're attacking targets that have higher HP, especially when you're in PvE. If you're in PvE, you're attacking targets that have way higher HP than you do. I don't think we can even possibly build champions that have that high HP when you get a little bit further in the game. It changes when you get into Arena, but like Fenshi, I'm not planning on using Fenshi in Arena. So, and then Adeline, we're still working on her masteries. Let's go in. I'll show you this. Yeah, same thing over here with Adeline. I did put Life Drinker on her. That, she doesn't hit very often with her A1, but because she's not booked, she's hitting more often. And I'm not planning on booking Adeline still. Even though I haven't pulled any other legendaries, I really don't want to use the books on her. I think we'll have opportunities to get other legendaries, and I'd rather save the books for somebody that's going to be a little more impactful. But she's doing a pretty decent job for what she does as it is, and so I think but I just don't know how long we're going to use her and if she's going to be long term. So if she does become long term, I'll still have the books and I'll be able to book her later. This one we're going to do Merciful Aid. Just increases the heal if they're in distress under the CC debuffs. So if your champions are under CC debuffs like stun, for example, she'll do a little bit more heal, and it's not a lot. Again, it's 15% higher of a heal, so it takes what the heal was and then just increases that by 15%. And so it's usually not a very big heal, but her heal's pretty significant. And so anyway, so you can read that, but yeah, her heal's sort of significant, and I just thought adding some to that would be good. And then we want to keep going down over here on this side of the tree. We want to go down to War Master. As long as we're using her in Clan Boss, I want to keep her in War Master, if that makes sense. And then Allure, we're able to get a little bit more crit rate. See, I've got these crit rate gloves on Allure, and I'd like to level these up to 16 so we can get closer to the 100%. We need her at 100% crit rate. She's at 81 right now, so we'll get close with the gloves, and then we'll just have to find some gear pieces that make more sense to be able to. She needs to be fast, she needs to crit, and she needs to have accuracy. You know the drill. So that's kind of tough to get on her sometimes. But yeah, 174 speed. Still would like her to be a lot faster than that, and 81% crit rate. So we're moving up, and then we've got room on speed to grow here with these boots. So I'm not. Those aren't long-term boots to put on her, but the substats kind of made sense because they had some crit rate on. And then I do like to put some defense, defense and HP wherever I can on an allure, because she is kind of hard to keep alive. If she does end up taking a hit, I like her to be able to at least take a hit or two before she just goes right down. And sometimes she does. So so that's doing. So we're doing well there. So this A2 that she has attacks all enemies 2 times. Each hit has a 30% chance of placing a 30% decreased defense debuff for 1 turn. Places a sleep debuff for 1 turn on targets under decreased defense. So it's the small version of decreased defense. You can get that chance up. It goes up to a 50% chance, but you can get that a little bit higher with Sniper. You can go to 55. If you're going to do all of her masteries, it makes sense that would be kind of the one to do. Otherwise, if you want to put a little bit more damage on her, you can go over here. You'll have Bring It Down. You always want to put Bring It Down when you're heading down to War Master. You always want to use Bring It Down. You can put Kill Streak on Allure. I think Kill Streak does make a little bit of sense. Increases damage inflicted by 6% in the arena and 3% in all other locations for each enemy killed by this champion in battle. Stacks across each round in battle up to 12%. So if she's killing in the waves or whatever, it'll increase her damage and it'll just make your boss fight go a little bit shorter. So it's kind of a choice. To me, that's kind of a coin flip on that one. But I think that makes some sense to put Kill Streak on her along with Methodical, because she's using her A1 so much, and that stacks across rounds also. So if you're using her in Fire Knight, it makes total sense to use Methodical and Kill Streak. But I could also see an argument for using Sniper if you're using her for that decreased defense, that A2 skill. Kind of not really a strategy that a lot of people use, but I could understand it if someone wanted to do that. Between Sniper and Master Hexer, though, I'll move myself again here a little. Between Sniper and Master Hexer, though, I would choose Master Hexer over Sniper, just because if she's placing the decreased defense, you might want it to last an extra turn. She does use her A2 in the waves, and so I think that makes sense to have the decreased defense on if the fight is going too long. Usually, though, that's not going to be an issue. Like I told you yesterday, we're putting all 4 keys into Brutal on both accounts now, and that's we did come short. Yeah, I think we fell short a little bit yesterday on the free-to-play of getting the top chest on Brutal. We'll see what happens today. I'm going to start the same thing over there. I like to try and whenever I do something on one, I like to do it on the same. I like to try to do the same thing on the other account. Can't always do it. I'll get out of the way so you can see Taragi's beautiful form. Don't mind me, just in the way. They've been doing a pretty good job making some progress, and every time I level up some gear or get another mastery on, it's kind of fun to watch and see how much damage that might. It's not that much. It's usually RNG. It's within the range of RNG when you make little incremental changes like that. But getting the mastery on there, the War Master mastery, that'll increase your damage by over 1 million most of the time for most champions. So it really ramps up when you get down to War Master, but it takes a while to get there. There's a lot of Minotaur runs. I ran a ton of Minotaur today. I also ran a ton of Force Potion Keep to get my Adeline leveled up to 5 here on the budget account, so that she could get the blessing, and I got the blessing. So now she has the 5-star Brimstone blessing. So now she can place that protected smite debuff, and it's a lot more reliable. She places it a lot more often. So even though it's not on right now, but it should be. It should be on. but she, every once in a while she's going to miss it, but more often than not, she's going to get it on there. A nice, she just hit again, didn't place it. Why would she try and make a liar out of me like this? Come on, there we go. Now we have it on. Okay. See? Yeah, so you see that protected smite debuff. It's really nice to have, because there are certain bosses in the game that obviously they cleanse their own, they cleanse themselves and they cleanse debuffs off themselves. And that 5-star Brimstone is really nice to have. 4.2 million. Yeah, this fight goes on for a little while longer. I'll skip ahead to the end. All right, so coming down to the end here, once he gets past turn 20, he really starts ramping up his damage. And so we're not going to last too much longer, but we're doing pretty well compared to what we've been doing before. So Taragi goes down, and that's it. So 24 turns, that's pretty good on Brutal. At this stage, I think we can say that's a win. That's pretty good. I'm happy about that. So almost 7 million damage, which gets us close to a 3 key on Brutal. That's really good. I'm really happy about that. Yeah, let's look. Yeah, 21.7. So we're almost 7 million. So it's not quite a 3 key yet. I mean, that might be an ideal scenario. So we might be a little under that on some runs, but pretty close to getting a 3 key now on Brutal. And Brutal chest is just better than hard or normal, obviously. Over here on the free-to-play, we're still lagging behind a little bit, 4.51 million damage. I don't know, you can see the damage that they each did. But yeah, Taragi being in, and Myethel, if she had War Master, and this is, fair enough, Myethel, if she had War Master, we'd be doing like 1 million more damage. But I don't have War Master on the budget account either. It's just, we're just not surviving long enough. But you can see Outlaw Monk is out damaging almost everybody except Adeline, and that's because of the smite debuff. That smite debuff is really nice. Yeah, so back on the budget account, you can see with the 3 keys we were at 19.63 million damage, and top chest on Brutal is 21.7. So we have one key left to throw in. Clan versus Clan has been going pretty well. I'll take you back over here to the free to play while that's running, and show you our progress on Clan versus Clan. Being in a little clan, you just never know who you're going to be up against, and in this case, this week, we ended up being against a clan that isn't quite as active as the first one we went up, or the second one we went up against. So we should, if things keep going the way they are, we should be able to collect some rings. So that'll be nice. The Blood Shield rings, especially with PvE content, you always want to have those Blood Shield rings, and if we get lucky on a reaction piece, that would be great too. So I haven't collected any of these rewards yet for the free to play. I have collected a few of them on the main account, I keep calling it the main account. I have collected a few of them on the budget account. But yeah, we're just plugging along with Minotaur mostly, and that's been the thing to do. So until we get Stag Knight up with War Master, until we get Frolny up there, we'll just leave this team in, and they'll just keep getting. The only one that I have with full masteries in the team right now is Athel, and we don't win without her. So, but pretty soon I'm hoping that we'll get her to a point where she can solo Minotaur. I might not get to that point very soon. That can kind of be tough. There's some champions in the game that can solo Minotaur and others that can't, and so I think what we'll do is just keep kind of doing this same thing. Is on a champion I'm building that has gear, we'll just throw them in with Athel, and she'll help support most of the damage while they're getting all of their masteries, and that's kind of the strategy I tend to use. And like I said, I did put full masteries with gems on 2 champions. Some people only like to do 1, some people like to do 2. I usually like to do 2 of them, and I find that works out okay, and you usually end up making back those gems. I skipped ahead to the end here. It's a pretty long fight with the Minotaur, 2 minutes 12 seconds. I mean, that seems long to me. So yeah, we're collecting some red scrolls now on Stag Knight, so that's good. So as we go in here, something else I wanted to mention. After pulling all of the soul stones this morning, we did get quite a few points for this anniversary path event, and I just wanted to show you kind of the decision that I made about what I thought was valuable for a free-to-play account or a budget account, or any early game account really. I went through the silver here, the gems, and then I went for this epic book. We're really trying to get Stag Knight booked. it's tough, and on the budget account I'm trying to get Fenchy booked, and so they take quite a few books, both of them, and so it's important to try and get as many of these epic books as you can. And so I went down here. We do have a key that they gave us at the beginning, which they don't always do that, so it's kind of nice. But I think if I do score any more points with champ training, or if I happen to get any more souls this weekend, I don't know that I will, or soul stones to open. The soul stones really didn't give, especially the mortal ones, they don't give very many points. Let me go back here and look. Yeah, the mortal soul stones are only 100 points each. The immortals are 1,500. That's a lot more points. But the reason we mainly pulled was because it had a greater chance of greater rank. For an event like this, these rewards are a little bit lacking, but it is nice to get the epic book. And with a little bit more champ training, might be able to sneak down here on this side and get this silver, this energy, and then this epic book. The core hammers really aren't that valuable anymore. When Swift Parry was kind of a meta set, they were pretty valuable, but we're not really using Swift Parry that much anymore, and people don't use deflection either. So really I don't value those as much as we used to. So I kind of like to go down this way. These could be useful if you have a gear that's worth ascending. I have ascended a couple of pieces of gear, but only because there was an advanced quest or something to do that. So anyway, I just wanted to go over a little bit of what I chose to do on that path event. Hopefully if you're early game, seeing my perspective on it, maybe add to your own, and hopefully that'll help you. I do think some of these other rewards are nice. Obviously the shards would be great, and the legendary book and the mythic tome would be great, but that's a lot. That's a lot to do for especially for an early game account. So I think that's kind of my thought process, is get as many epic books as I can, get those epics that we're actually working on skilled up so that they have what they need, and then we'll move on after they're doing their job. Then we'll move on with the legendaries we have later. So that's kind of my thought process on it. Don't forget to do your fusion warm-up event. It's pretty much free points as long as you're collecting some artifacts. Usually you can do it just through campaign if you're doing some training. So we'll go through and we'll max that out within the next couple days also. And on the fusion, I've kind of decided not to go for the fusion on both of these accounts, but I probably will try and collect the fragments for the epic that's going to be fused into her. If it's the epic that I think it is, and I think it's the lizard man epic that's a void. I saw some coverage on that today, and it looks like he's going to be a really good damage dealer. Hopefully somebody will do something on the test server that will show what his damage is like, because I think that would be nice to have a damage dealer like that's void for both accounts. And so that's kind of the plan that I have: collect enough fragments of the epic just to be able to put one or maybe two of those epics together. Having two would be nice for faction guardians, or maybe if he's just a really good nuker, to be able to have two of them built on the account. So resources are scarce and precious though, so we'll see how that works. I just want to say thank you for watching. I'm very grateful to everyone who has watched any of the videos I've come out with. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm having a blast learning a lot of new things, and I hope this is interesting to you as well. I've always wanted to do this. I've been thinking about doing a side-by-side this way since I started playing the game. I wanted to see kind of an example of it, and I kind of thought somebody would do it, and nobody ever did. So it's been fun for me to do it and to kind of take it on myself, and I hope someone else finds it interesting, kind of like I do. So so again, thank you for watching. I've been Wood, and I appreciate you.